A pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere. I would like you to subscribe to the channel so you will get the next updated video. And if there's something that you do not like or you don't understand, it is your rightful duty, democratically, to voice your opinion. Not like in Guyana that when you speak out against the opposition or the ruling party, you become a victim of both of them, and they use the dogs and leech climb upon your head. Today, before I deal with Guyana, I wanted to take time to congratulate our Jewish brothers and sisters who take time during the week in protest against the selfish war in Israel, the senseless killing of the Palestinian people and devastation of damaging all the buildings and the electricity and else things that go with it. Even some rabbi was a part of it, according to information it's alleged, but it was on the news. Friends, that is why I said to Guyanese people, not all blacks are bad. Not all Indians are corrupt. Not all Chinese are selfish, but Chinese got their own way of life. See no evil, hear nor speak none. That means the people they live between is evil, so they don't want to see, they don't want to hear, and they won't speak. But the European, the one who scout the world looking for trouble, and even though they have brought a lot of prosperity, they still are condemned on to this day. Slavery. I must congratulate the Jewish women and men who take the street around the world in protest against the war in Israel. It is selfish. It is uncalled for. It is people who is occupying a country, killing people and trying to take over more, bulldozing the people's house, shooting at them, killing them in the mass until the 7th of October, which I think an investigation should be carried out to find out if it was really Hamas, or was people put on a mask, or some group of people was paid to do that, to create this, because it don't look good for me. Imagine the Russian, the British, the Americans, and others have a very strong security force, but in the time of disaster, they fall asleep. My friend, it don't look right. Something not right. We don't need Sherlock Holmes. We do not need them or Watson. We have common sense. But there is a God, a higher judge. Today, according to the news, they're still bombing and killing and even blow up some mosques. All the places where the people are praying, especially coming on the month of Ramadan. But yet, nations who still support Israel are blind to see the destruction and deaf to hear the noise and the scream of innocent women and children who are dying without a reason. We can blame everybody. They're looking for Hamas, but they can't find Hamas, much less the Ham. My friends, it's the 21st century. We condemn many great leaders, Saddam. We condemn many, Adolf Hitler, many of them. But are we not going to condemn others who is destroying innocent life? People are being slaughtered, don't even have a grenade, a gun, a knife, not even a grain of sand. But we in the civilized world sit down and analyze it and laugh. So when the rabbi and the decent Jews come on the street protesting, so we are not a part of that. It is the same like the blacks in Guyana with what happened in Guyana in the 60s. On to this day, Indians will never forget what the blacks have done to them. But is all the blacks? No. Many blacks was beaten, fighting to protect their Indian friends and neighbors. Many Indians was beaten, trying to protect their black neighbors and friends from Indians who was going to fight back. Friends, this is not civilization. This is annihilation of nation. One who got the money called the shot. And they use the uneducated and the ignorant and the political opportunists who want power to lie to people to carry this kind of genocide. One will ask, how many more lives must lost before we do something about it? The United Nations, the Hague Court, South Africa, and many other nations is condemning this genocide. But yet we shut our mouth. And friends are still supporting it. But we will kill a man or jail him for murder. But we shook hands with those who are murdering a lot of people and helping them to do it. Are we aiding and abetting in a crime that one day might be at our doorstep because of the mistake our politicians are making? I am not saying that all Jews are bad or Palestinian, or all Arabs, or all European, or all Chinese, or all whatever. Friends, we must come to understand one thing. We are all in this world for a short time, and none of us will take anything with us but just the garment they put on us and the box they give us, or maybe the cremation. One should ask, why spend billions and millions of dollars to kill people, to take the land when we ourselves will have to die and leave it, and create more hatred, and maybe one day might get an attack that we are not ready for? Think of it. So with that, I call for peace in all over the world, Israel, India, Pakistan, and Africa in the Congo, and all them shooting one another for what? Land. Religion. You don't like my religion. My religion is better than yours. Come on, fools. It's one God. Different denomination of praying. Different way of worshiping. In different language. One God. We all are going to meet him one day if the Bible is true. Why are we killing, annihilating one another over that? Fighting for land, fighting with religion is better. Well, let me leave it there now and call for peace around the world and go back into Georgetown, Guyana. On the 23rd of this month, Guyanese celebrate the Republic celebration. Sometimes I ask if it was to honor the birthday of Lyndon Sampson Forbes Burnham because he born between the same vicinity. It says, before he had chosen that day, or the independence, which is the 26th of May, Chetty Jagan had wanted to be the 22nd of March, his birthday. So Burnham did not do that, he put it in May. Both. You could say March, you could say May, unless Burnham made a mistake with May and March. But nevertheless, but in February the 23rd, the Republic celebration called Mashaman. I'm going to give a little highlight upon that. It might look in very colorful, but the behavior of the men and women dancing on the street, like in the days of uncivilization, when people were not civilized, women actually naked. Trinidad Carnival, the same thing. But we talk about moral value. We talk about discipline. We talk about the way of carrying ourselves. But it was a party to mark the anniversary of Guyana Republic on the 23rd of February. When the Amerindian man, the politician, Mr. Schumer, dressed the way the Amerindian have dressed when Columbus entered the shore, and all the pirates, and he walked into Guyana court, if I remember right, They had a shield with two Amerindians stand at the side, with spear in the hand or arrow, unless it changed now. And he met with a lot of criticism. They didn't even want to arrest him, according to information he said. They didn't even want to walk him out of the court, because they says he dressed unruly. His tie was not good enough for the nation, but he's an Amerindian. He still live in the bush because of the Indian and the blacks keep them there. Even though they might be civilized to standard, the man want to prove a point, and he was ridiculed and criticized. But our black brothers and sisters from Mashramani came out in the carnival in Trinidad and Guyana for the 23rd anniversary of the Republic and danced, actually naked like primitive time, while in modern Africa today, those nonsense does not be a part. It sounds vulgar. It looks so irrational to face the world. But if I'm a man, walk that way tomorrow with a spear in my hand, my body actually nude and barely a piece of lap in front of me, I will be considered mentally ill, mad, stupid, or what goes with it. Friends, all the young women that go there expose themselves, whining, dining with music, and yes, that's your belief, I can't take it from you. It is worse than the days of primitive people in tribal affair with their dance. Modern Africa today does not do that. They go properly, even if they have leaves around them. They're not jumping wild and whining and whining and jumping up, throwing their body like that. But if you do it after the Independence Day, it might be considered a charge, or they will call you mentally ill. But we blame Mr. Schumer, the native son of Guyana, who unto this day was not free or independent to his country. And who was given their freedom as independent? Indian and black only, because only the two of you want to rule it. What happened to the Chinese and the Portuguese or the mixed race? That is why we have the Culin-style government according to some of the black leaders and the black activists from Brooklyn right back. And when the blacks lead, we hear the black man leadership. That's why I propose to stop the clash between Indian and black. Let's come together for a national front government, where the native of the country will be the head of it, administered by the other 5 races, which means the native will be the Amerindian as a leader, the mixed race can be under them, followed by the Chinese and the Portuguese, the Indian and the black. Because we cannot put black people to rule a country what is not Africa and behave worse than tribal leaders of modern Africa. Or put Indians to rule Guyana and you still claim in India. Even some of your ministers find auntie. I hope Brother Ali can find an uncle, because Pakistan was once India. Nothing personal. So I condemn the behavior, as you call it, Mashramani. Another thing, while all over the world are creating war over land, religion, and politics, we find time to celebrate and enjoy ourselves. It's a time for mourning, friend. It's a time for praying and fasting, because we may have the same problem sweeping at our back door very soon. Because a minister, I think, is alleged, on Facebook I saw telling the blacks, never think, always fight for what is right because your ancestor fight for Guyana and develop it. Well, I would tell you the God truth. There are 2 countries in the world that are progressing under black leadership. Rwanda, God bless the young man, who bring about peace between the Tutsi and the Wutsi, or whatever see they call them, killing each other. And today, women and men want to replace them. And South Africa, with the apartheid system, during the time of de Klerk, where they are free and Mandela was out of prison after 27 years, and from Angel Island, what they call it, and today in South Africa, some white people hold some of the highest position under the change of government that run by the African blacks themselves, according to information. And they're running with love, peace, and unity. And when South Africa bring the charge to the Hague Court against Israel for human rights violation, it was black and white South Africans stand together. Not like India, when Venezuela claiming 60% of Guyana, India support Venezuela. It's a known fact, ladies and gentlemen. But today, I asked the Indian and the black, if really your ancestor was a slave, as we all was told and read, did you not rule the country one time, as you said, President, Prime Minister, or King, if you want to say? And what you have done to your family and yourself? You all even killed the late Walter Rodney. Now not every black people, the Barnum regime. Dr. Chedi Jagan, the coolie, was involved. Judas Iscariot. I know y'all don't want to hear the truth, but y'all could tell me about Jesus and Muhammad. But when I'm telling y'all about your hypocrites and what they've done, y'all are offended. Or y'all are really ignorant and illiterate and very spiteful, and y'all are the one who we got to be careful with. In order to bring about peace in a country where there are 6 different denominations of religion or race, and the 2 religions who fighting, holding it every time, change over this time, change over for the other one. We give A chance, then we give B a chance, and that is how we keep putting it. It's only those 2 alphabetical letters y'all know? Huh? The Indian and the blacks? What about the Portuguese, the Chinese, the mixed race, and the native? Friends, they are good and bad amongst everything. They are good Chinese, they are good Indians, they are good Africans, they are good Europeans. But we, the opposite race from anyone, we condemn everybody. Then let us come down to think about it. Burnham had ruled Guyana, and he smiled, and yes, I will give the man credit because he was a good spokesperson. But that doesn't give him the right to sit down and allow what happened to people and shut his mouth. Well, the PPP, Jagan died before the 4 years because he lied to the nation to change the constitution. And when Walter Rodney's son met with him, Mr. Ledge, and asked him to reopen up the case of his father, the file, he asked the young man, according to information, what he expect to gain. Now, is that a leader? So I will say, God, take him out. And when they was taking him to Babujan, according to information, he was stopped in boxing up Plaisance, and the villagers jumped in to open up the casket to make sure it was him. What do they know? Was Bonham really the man who died, or was it somebody else? Follow what goes on there, ladies and gentlemen. People don't react unless they know something. Okay? You don't look for thief unless somebody get robbed in your village. If everything going good, all right? So everybody put on bars and things. So why did black people jump up on the funeral procession of Chedi, stop it, open up the box to make sure it was him? What do they know that the nation don't know? The rest of the nation. Which means, bring me back to my principal belief. It was not Burnham who declared that day. Okay? That was somebody else. Because Reagan would have taken him out. Because he threatened him. But friends, I call upon all Guyanese, Indian and black, Portuguese and Chinese, and Amerindian and mixed race to unite. We tried the PPP, they fail us, corruption too much. We tried the PNC, racism. And when they mix with the AFC, It's the biggest corruption. They all become the same. Because they allow Ramjatan and Nagamutu to have a voice to hurt innocent people. Is that the kind of leadership y'all want? Tell me. Is that the kind of leadership? I think David Granger, Mr. Norton, and others should be in the peacekeeping thing for Israel and Palestine, because when your enemy can join hands with you to rule a country and turn back and hurt innocent people, we got problem. So Mr. Norton, examine your crew. A lot of corrupt people between you. Remember, it was the Portuguese put Burnham in power to save the Indian for the massacre. But not all Guyanese blacks. It was Highlanders who started with the help of foreign agents because of communist law. Today, I call upon all of you to unite for a national front government where every Guyanese will get a house and land to build your house and money, but a lot of laws will change. If you thief, your hand will be cut out. If you're aiding and abetting in any crime to deny a man or woman justice regardless of the race or religion, I call for execution. Some people say that is too rash. Put them on a little island. Friends, we are not the British to send our prisoner to Australia, or the French to send them on to Guyana and call it Devil Island, and the Spanish to send them on in Dominican Republic. Okay? We believe every man and woman must be judged according to the crime, not their race, nor their religion, or not who is in power. We believe in that. We believe that any man or woman, regardless of your race or your culture, could sit down to be the leader of Guyana. But for now, we have to heal the wound because the gap is too wide. So we have to come together for humanity. You black people are claiming white man exploit you and rape your mother and grandparents and slave you. What y'all do with the Amerindian? But when I talk, some black friends of mine say, what America do with the Indian? Are they ready to fetch America sins if God can judge us tomorrow? And why judge modern people? This generation for the crime of 100 years ago. Come on. But then Jesus says, your children will answer the crime. Why we lock up innocent people when they talk against us? Because we are in power. Imagine. But I leave all of you who hurt us to God. Our hands are clean. Some of you going to play with your body parts and eat your filth. Your children will run mad before you. We don't want power. Because the country is an Amerindian country. But we were born there. And we have many blood in us from many races. And we want to live together. Peace, love, and unity. And put the country forward so every Guyanese can enjoy it as it used to be in the 50s and 40s. Uncle and auntie, brother and sister help each other. When black neighbors and Indian neighbors could assemble, eat and drink from each other, sleep in each other's house, those are the steps of heaven and the blessing of Jesus and God. Then segregation. Indians kill their own mother and father. They go to the opium man to destroy one another because of jealousy and corruption. And y'all may not like it because I keep telling y'all it's steady. But they still have a lot of good ones and a lot of good black people. So let's draw a line now and unite for a better Guyana, my friends, with a national front government. And you women, respect yourself and stop jumping up like tribal people that have no education. Tribalism is over. Africa is modernized. India is modernized. Peace and all the good be with you and the future. Let's work together and make Guyana a stepping stone to the heaven and open up the door to Africa and India, the Caribbean and other countries. Have a good day, and may God be with all of you.